name's Kevin Goff. I'll be the project manager for Vecino Construction on the Cairn Point job here in Cedar City, Utah. It's a 50-unit multifamily residential development, and yeah, we're hoping to get started in September. So we're just finalizing design and dealing with comments from the city and the plan reviewers, and hopefully getting ready to mobilize here in about a month. And it looks like we're on track for that. We're really close with comments and things from the city and finalizing our plans and getting the final estimate for the job so we can start buying out all the contractors and getting the full scope covered.
So how far along do you think you guys are? How much depth do you have in your bidding at this point, or contracting?
We're almost 100% with our estimate in our bid phase for the job. So we've already closed the bid timeline and received everything. We're just in the process of going through everything that we've received, all the bids we've received, and putting them into their buckets based on scope and going through and finding best value contractors for each area, and then looking for any gaps that we might have, anything that didn't get covered in the first round of bids that we'll need to find. But we were hoping to have that finalized today. Our estimator is out sick, so it's probably going to be more like Monday or Tuesday next week to get all that compiled together and get ready to close this job.
Do you see any problems, any areas like we've heard that lumber is going crazy these days, or your grading contractors got bigger pockets than you want, or something like that?
Yeah, so far everything's fine. I know lumber has been an issue more so in other places, and then also depending on what type of lumber it is, just normal Doug fir framing lumber like we'll be using. So far, at least here, hasn't really been impacted. It's more just the specialty woods like western red cedar and redwood and stuff like that that's become scarce due to the current environment we live in.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
And then the local contractors here have been really responsive, which is great. We kind of, myself and the rest of the construction team that's kind of got their hands on this early part of the project, we came down here to Cedar City and the surrounding areas like St. George and even some of the stuff closer up to the big city up in Salt Lake, and just kind of did a tour and met face to face with a ton of different contractors out here just to go ahead and start kind of building that relationship and getting to know them and introducing ourselves and what we're doing. And we find that makes a big difference in the response we get and the level of attention to detail and everything that we're receiving on these bids from subcontractors. So yeah, I'm feeling good about our progress right now and excited about it.
So you're a Salt Lake native, I guess, or that's where you live.
Yeah, I live up in in the Salt Lake Valley in a suburb of it called Draper.
Okay.
So I'm about 3-hour drive from where this project is down south.
So you're finding there's enough bids, enough manpower. You're not going to have a situation where you got 3 framers on the job type of thing, because the only guy is from Cedar City and that's all they got.
Yeah, no, it's actually looking pretty good. St. George, which is about 45 minutes south of here, is another big city. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. and they have a pretty good supply of contractors and manpower. So I think that's really going to help us rather than trying to pull people from the main Salt Lake Valley up north. I think would be more difficult, but based on the response and the relationships we've already started building with the southern contractors, I think it's going to help us a lot. And we will have some people coming from up north and ones that we've used in the past, either on the previous development here, Libertad, or just, I've been working in Utah for a while, so I've got, plenty of connections outside of Vecino that I'll probably look into for certain scopes, but definitely focusing on the southern-based local contractors as much as we can, especially like you said for framing, and the excavation is going to be big. We don't want to have piecing it out to 3+ different contractors just to get it done.
Yeah.
So you brought up an interesting project, the Libertad or Libertad.
Yeah, Libertad.
I had not seen it on Google Earth before. Exactly. I had not seen that before until yesterday. I saw it on Google Earth.
Oh yeah, finally
they
updated on there.
They updated their maps, and that's obviously the extension of Hovey Hills.
Yeah. Yep.
Did Vecino build that, or did they buy into that?
So we had a public works partner, I guess you'd call it. It was a local general contractor for the southern Utah area that came in, and they managed a portion, and they really were we kind of paid them for the general conditions, so to speak, like the on-site management. And then Vecino Construction also bought out a certain percentage of the contracts. So I don't remember. I wasn't involved in that job, so I couldn't tell you the exact percentage. But usually, when we do that, when we're first getting into a new market like Cedar City, I think it's good to bring in a partner from another established local GC to help us kind of get our roots in the area and build those relationships. So that's why this job with Cairn Point will be 100% Vecino Construction build on this one.
So will you be able to take advantage of any of those contractors that were used on that project, or?
Yeah, for sure. We'll be we have a whole list that we've gone through and broke down and looked at, the performance basically of everyone that was a part of Libertad, and decided, were there any ones that didn't work out that we want to avoid, or were there any ones that really just did an awesome job that we want to make sure we keep the relationship with and hopefully get them back here for Cairn Point. And so that's definitely going to help us. And that's why I say I think Vecino, when they are first doing a project in a new area like they did here with Libertad, it's good to get that local GC. Otherwise, you're just an unknown person, and you might have a harder time getting those good subcontractors to really give you a serious look for the work. And once you've done a job in an area, you have those relationships you can go and benefit from moving forward. So everything now in Utah, we feel comfortable, doing 100% Vecino build.
Cool. So I'm not aware of this. So Libertad what size of a project is it, and what kind of project is it?
Libertad is also a multifamily residential development. I think it's approximately the same number of units. I know Cairn Point is 50 units, and again, I wasn't involved in that build, so I don't know all the details, but just from the looks of it, it looks like it's about a similar size project and in very similar scope and type of construction to what we're doing with Cairn Point.
Is that a LIHTC project, or is that a market rate project?
It's an affordable housing. I don't know the details on the exact deal they made on that, but it was a affordable housing development.
And they actually have they have a website, Matt, that I looked up last night when I found that on the map, so we can look at it together.
Cool. So that's now complete. Is that CO'd and good to go?
Yep. Okay. Yep. That one's complete and residents in. I think the only thing with that is we won't have the road finished that was built going to those apartments that's supposed to connect and loop back down until Cairn Point is finished.
Okay. So and how long did that take to build? What was the timeline for that one?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't want to just take a guess and be wrong. I'd have to go back and look at the history on that job.
Well, maybe it'd be helpful for us. Think if you could, if you find out what that is, how long it took to build that one, just as a
Yeah.
comparison to how we stand.
Yeah, absolutely. I can absolutely do that.
Cool.
So do you want to take us on a tour? Tell us, you're obviously closer to that site, Libertad, than you are to the golf course, I guess.
Right basically in the middle right now. I can turn my camera around so you can see. So I'm at basically the far east boundary, right in the middle of the property where Cairn Point will be. So this is looking to the north, and that's Libertad.
So you're actually on Hovey Hills?
Yeah. I'm standing right where the road's going to be coming through, and then this will be the eastern side of the property for Cairn Point, and then it'll go down the hill that direction with the building, and then the road will be coming from the golf course. Clubhouse is down here, and the golf course kind of circles around this whole area here. So the road we'll be building comes up from the clubhouse down kind of this existing dirt road that you can kind of see here, and then up through where I'm standing and tie back into Libertad.
So where's the tee boxes and everything that you're going to have to tear out?
They're over here towards Libertad. Let me see if I can get close enough to show you. Can you still see my video as the main?
Yeah, no, you're doing great. I see the water tower up on the right-hand side.
Yep. There's the water tower, and this is kind of where the road's going to be coming through. Let me get up higher. Hopefully not find any rattlesnakes. So this is one of the tee boxes right in front of us that's going to be gone. And the road will be coming, it's hard to see because of the trees, but the road will be coming from Libertad over here behind this tree and then around.
Was that water I saw on the right?
No.
No. Okay. It just.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So is that a right of way existing that you're going to just be, you're going to just have to do the grading, it's all, in other words, already dedicated right away, or do we have to get some kind of access easement or through the golf course area there?
That's going into our plans. There will be an added 10-foot right of way on each side of the road. So it'll come through, it'll take a portion of the existing golf course, but that's all coming from the city with what they want to do. So.
Okay.
There's some people, looks like, getting ready to tee off, so I'm trying not to go walking out in front of them.
Yeah.
And you can see more of the golf course down there. So it kind of circles around the entire piece of property that Cairn Point will be on. And that will just be kind of that extension of Hovey Hills that loops through it. I'm not sure if you can see over there, but you can kind of see where the road ends for Cairn Point.
Gotcha.
Is there any overhead utilities anywhere on the site?
No overhead.
Looks like you kind of got some clay and rock. How's it gonna dig?
Oh, it's gonna dig just about like anything else we do here in Utah. It's rocky, and we expect to find some pretty substantial boulders to deal with along the way. But the nice thing about that is you can reuse those as part of your landscaping, and and foundation retention. So kind of a bonus feature.
So how big is the grader that you're going to get out there doing your? I mean, is it a good size operation? You're going to have a bunch of equipment, or how fast can they get this thing graded?
The people that we've talked to so far, seem to think they could handle this pretty easily because they do a lot of big, heavy highway civil projects. So this is nothing to them in their world that they work in every day. But there's a little bit better view for you to see where. So can you see the retaining wall that's kind of right there? And there's some fresh asphalt. That's the road that was built along with Libertad, and that'll be where we tie in. So this tee box right in front of me is one of the ones that's going to be taken away.
So is that going to split that's the tee box, not the green?
Yeah, this is the tee box just right here in front of me.
So what's your sequence of construction going to be as far as the site improvements versus getting started on actually building the building and framing?
So getting the rough grading of the road done early is the goal. We'd like to, just for access, to be able to get in to work on the actual building pad. So we'll be coming, let me walk over here to this side so you can kind of see where the road's going to be coming through. We'd like to, it's going to be too late to get the road completely done and paved and everything because the asphalt operations all shut down in the winter out here because of the temperature. So it'll be next spring before we get asphalt down, but we want to go ahead and get the road fully graded, have access coming from the clubhouse side instead of, because there's no access from the Libertad side until we get the road done. So we'll be focusing on getting this the road from the south graded for access so that we can get in here and do the building pad and start the structure through the winter.
You have to have the foundations and the retaining walls in before the snow flies, or can you do that if it gets cold?
No, we can do all of that stuff year round here.
Okay.
So we're coming to the intersection of 900 Hovey Hills and 900.
This is this is 900, and this will be Hovey Hills that we're on.
Is that
so?
That's not paved? Is it just compacted dirt, or?
Yeah, it's just a gravel base.
And do you need to get permission to from the neighbors on the south to encroach onto their property to build the road?
No, this is all city owned. Part of the golf course, which is also city owned, and then just Cedar City owned property. So they're fully aware of the easement and encroachment for the road coming through here. That's why I just got done with a meeting with some of the city planners here before getting on the phone with you guys, just looking at the latest plans. We're almost finalized on our road plan coming through here. And we also sat down with the head golf pro and the golf course superintendent here and went through the plans with them and talked about what it's going to look like and where retaining walls are going to be, what kind of slopes we're going to have to do, and how it's going to basically interface with their golf course. And then talked about some other things like temporary access while we're doing construction of this road. They'll need a way each day. Basically, it'll change depending on where we're working, but we'll have to create a delineation, a path for their golfers to get through with their carts because they keep, they play golf year round here as long as there's not snow on the ground.
Where are they going to need access to?
So the golf course comes up this way around back behind us, and then it loops all the way around this east side of the property and then comes back over to where I was standing earlier where you could see the tee box. So they'll just need a place to cross from this hole over to the tee box that you saw.
Can you take us down to the intersection where 900 and kind of dead ends or turns into dirt? So where we're going to our property corner and how that we're getting through that. It seems like we're going to cross other people's property to get between our property and the end of the road. Is that?
No, this road right here, just around the corner, it goes back to pavement, and that's where the golf course clubhouse and parking lot and everything is. So the access is actually pretty good already. It'll be better for the actual building pad once we get the road kind of graded around. Right now, this is just kind of a trail, so to speak, whereas we have a nice gravel-based road coming in. This is the southeast corner of the property that I'm standing on.
Yeah. Is the fire department going to let you, frame without having all the paving done and access all the way around, or are they going to, how's it going to work with that in terms of being able to get that work done if you're not going to get the paving until the springtime?
Well, we'll be paving the foundation slab for the building before we start framing. I can't tell if that's a coyote coming towards me or a fox. I don't know if you guys can see that on the road.
No, not yet.
Yeah, it's a fox coming to check everything out. Oh, he hears me now. He's scared. Yeah, so we'll have since the foundation is concrete, we'll have that in place and then start framing on top of it. It's just the asphalt for the road that we can't do until the plants open back up in the spring.
But the city will allow you to start framing without the asphalt down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. Usually, most projects, asphalt is one of the last things to go in anyways. We'll probably do it earlier than usual here just to improve access into the site. But
you'll have water.
It won't cause any problem.
Your water distribution will be around the site?
What do you mean?
Well, as Matt was saying, sometimes the fire department wants to have a fire hydrant pretty close to where wood is.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's plenty of city water already run through here because all the golf course irrigation. So I haven't checked on that or anything or talked to anybody about that, but I'm sure if they want a fire hydrant or something, it'd be easy to tap into the existing city water.
So the water already exists in 900, and you're just going to put it up here through Hovey Hills. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, my understanding from just talking to the city planners and the golf course people is that there's a water main that runs right back over there where that fairway was, where you could see the tee box before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what utilities are along this road, if there are any, but
there's going to be pretty sizable water, sewer, storm drain extensions all the way through both roads.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea where you're going to get your imported dirt from?
No, I haven't looked into that or how much fill dirt we're going to need to bring in. I know the design team has already done a geotech report, so I have to go in and see what the results for that came back as and how much. Because if it looks like we'll be able to get pretty good compaction on any backfill that we do here, so I don't imagine we'll be bringing in a lot of outside dirt, if any.
According to the grading plan, they talk about 1,700 yards of imported dirt and about 3,500 yards of exported dirt.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that plan and see what they've designed.
Can you take us down to the corner of where the actual asphalt stops on 900?
Yeah, I'll have to drive you down there. It's a pretty good little haul.
You taking a look at the retaining walls on the plans?
Yeah, that's what we were just going over, the retaining walls for the new road.
Get a beautiful view.
Yeah, it is nice here. Oh, can you guys still hear me? I think it switched over to the car audio.
Yeah, we
we're
can
good.
hear you.
We're good. Little warm today?
Yeah, it's heating up quick. It's still only 85 at the moment, but it's supposed to get close to 100 later.
We're on 900 now?
Yeah, this is, I believe this is still considered part of 900. It gets a straight shot from the road that you come in that's paved. That's called 900. So I think they still call it. This is pretty much the corner of the property, and then you can see here is where it goes back to asphalt. And this is 900 that goes right back out to Main Street. So that FedEx truck that just turned came off of Main Street onto 900. This is the golf course parking lot. Looking back east now to where the site starts. Does that give you a decent look at what you're wanting to see?
Sort of. You dropped the video. Actually dropped off for a little bit.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
You got it back now?
Yeah. We just see a truck crossing in front of you. Yeah. If you could jump out and just walk a little bit from there,
Yep.
so we can see what. If there's any utilities in the street right there, or manholes, fire hydrants.
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So is that a street? Is that a light pole up ahead of us on the left, or is that?
Just a piece of angle. I'm not sure what it's there for. Here, look.
It's hard to tell in the video.
Yeah.
I think right there is the corner of the property, isn't it?
Yep. I believe that stake, that PVC pipe with the flag tied around it is probably the actual marking, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah, this looks like they probably had signage on it at some point.
Okay.
Just a piece of an angle.
Yeah, if you could walk back down towards the junction.
Back here.
Yeah, perfect. That way.
I don't see any signs of utilities following along this road or anything. There are overhead power lines here, but they're well outside of our boundaries.
It looks beautiful.
It is. It's really pretty out here.
Maybe I'll have to take the 2-day drive to go up just to visit.
Yeah. I think they have a small airport here. You can fly in if you're willing to fly on a plane right now.
So are you familiar with their C of O process and what you're going to need to, or TCO process for that matter, to get people in there and rent and start the rent rolls?
As far as Cedar City and their requirements,
Yes.
I haven't done a job with Cedar City before, but I assume it's pretty much everywhere else that I've done multifamily has all been pretty much the same. There's no elevator in this, so that takes that out of the equation. Just making sure any life safety systems are in place and inspected. Have fire department come out and inspect and approve.
All right. Well, that looks pretty good to me. Skip, anything else you think we need to look at, or are we?
Will the city issue the building permit without will you have to certify your pad first before you get your building permit to start the foundations, or did they just issue everything all in the very beginning and you just have to provide reports as you progress?
Yeah, we'll be able to get all the building permits and then just have everything inspected and tested along the way. So there's no requirement here to get a foundation permit and then have that all, finished and approved before getting your building permit.
Okay. Do you know when we'll be getting an updated schedule? Because the one that we have, I think you actually start mobilizing. We're way past that date.
Yeah, let me talk to Josh Reich, who's our director of construction, and see what he wants to do, because he's the one that created that schedule that you have now, and then now I'm kind of taking over on this job. So if I need to get a revised schedule to you guys, I can do that, no problem. I just need to check with him, make sure he didn't have another plan.
Okay, you have to live and die by that schedule.
Yeah, don't we always?
You have to take ownership. It's a very aggressive schedule.
Yeah, I think that's our biggest concern, Kevin, just is that, that the schedule seems pretty tight. So, I think you got a lot of work to do around that perimeter, and all those retaining walls and everything is kind of just, there's a lot of work to be done. So we just want to be sure that you guys are really on top of, the schedule, and we're planning it appropriately. We don't want to, we'd rather under promise and over deliver than the other way around, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll go and kind of dig through what's been presented to you guys already at this point and give it a sanity check before we finalize.
Yeah, again, remembering we have winter and things like that.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. There's a car driving by. What was?
I just said remembering things like there's a winter that's coming and stuff like that.
Oh, we don't worry about that out here.
Yeah.
It's just life as usual.
I used to. Only time I've ever been to Cedar City was when I was a kid. We went skiing up at Bryan Head.
Brian Head, yeah.
So, pretty area, pretty good stuff.
It is. I like it.
Yeah.
So
All right.
you'll be our contact person for the whole project?
Yeah, during all of construction, I'll be the main contact.
Great. Well, it was nice to meet you, Kevin, and look forward to working with you.
Yeah, same. Good to meet you guys.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you driving down and giving us a tour. It's just so much better for us to get our eyes on the site than looking at Google Maps and
yeah, I agree for sure. If there's anything else you guys need that comes, pops in your mind, or things that you didn't think you got answered from this call, just reach out to me anytime and I'll do my best to accommodate.
Appreciate that.
We definitely appreciate that. I know that our staff is working with, I think it's Kim over at your office, or?
Yeah, Kim.
Yeah.
She'll probably still actually be more of your main contact day to day, I would think. But again, I'm here and I'll be the one leading this through construction, so I'll always be available if you need something.
You're not going to be there day to day. You'll have a superintendent there, or will you be doing it?
No, we'll have a superintendent here. It's kind of how much I'll be on site just depends on the phase of the project more than anything. So I'm a short drive away, so I'll be down here as much as needed, and I'm kind of have a thing about being on site as much as possible compared to a lot of other project managers. So maybe be here and bothering the superintendent more than he would like.
That's always good for progress.
Yeah. As long as everything's going fine, there won't be any need for it. But yeah. I still like to get on the jobs as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't sit behind a desk. Just all this sitting behind the desk is driving me crazy. I want to be out in the field a little bit more. Now we're stuck in our homes, so it's kind of
yeah, I hear you. It's been tough for me too. I've been stuck inside for 3-4 months, so driving down here to walk you guys around through the desert sounded like a good time.
Well, I'm glad we could make your day.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and we'll be in touch for sure as we go forward. So.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Drive
all right,
safe on the way back.
Yeah. Talk to you later.
Yeah.